I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now. Put me in the booth. I'm talking about dark room perfume. Go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice. Poetic justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you when you're in the mood for empathy. There's blood in my pen. Better yet, with your friends and them. I really wanna know you off. I really wanna show you off. Fuck God, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and your girl in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga that ain't good, came home is sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the SC Experience, aka your boy Eric, and we back again. We here post game. Yes, the Raiders have won yet again in the preseason. 34-17 was the score. Great things to see out there, honestly. I thought a lot of things could have been better, and the fact that the scoreline was that, it kind of amazes me. That I even say that, right? You would think a scoreline like 34-17, you would think that a lot of things went well, but a lot of things could have been better, right? But this preseason game was one of the good ones, man. Especially being there, it looked good across the field from the view I had. Even though it was not close, you could see everything on the field from my end, and I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed a lot everywhere from the opening drive to the end. There was a little bit of shaky. And you guys know what I'm talking about. We'll get to the quarterback play in a bit. All three quarterbacks played, and all three quarterbacks, two of them did really well. The other one, yeah, we could see why he's there for knowledge and not for playing. But shout out to everybody, man. Hopefully everybody had a blessed weekend. Good to see everybody here, man. Hopefully everybody in Southern California, Baja California, and everywhere to do from Hillary's pathway is doing well. For me, it didn't hit that hard, to be honest. It hit hard for like an hour yesterday, like pretty hard winds. It made a lot of things fly in the backyard, and the rain was pouring, but it wasn't too much where I was. So now it's like it's a sunny day. See how Mother Nature does it? Like now it's a sunny ass day. Like you go outside right now, my house, and it's literally like it's summer all over again. And it's weird because it just stopped raining like a couple hours ago. So that's the beauty of the weather, right? That's the beauty of Mother Nature. And besides that, I hope that people are well from the earthquake. I know there was an earthquake yesterday as well. Hopefully, everybody's well with that. But for me, it was, it, yeah, it was fun. So, I just want to say, hopefully, everybody's safe. Everything, nobody got, and nobody's things got destroyed or anything. For me, I'm good. Everything's straight. And it looks like a summer day outside, man. So, yeah, that's that. But let me give a shout out to the chat, and then I'll bring in my special guest that's gonna join me today. Shout out to Auntie Six in the building. What's good, Auntie Six? Good to see you. Sports and Wrestling Connection. Robert, what's good, man? Good to see you. The King of Moderators in the building. Terrence, salute. Hope all is well. Already dropping links. I appreciate that. Sean Johnson's in the building. What's good, Sean Johnson? Anthony Estrada is also in the building. Raider Resistance. Salute. Hope all is well, Press. Owl's Ghost is also in the building. Salute. Cool Kev in the building as well. Cool Kev, salute. Let me see. It flooded over here. Yeah, I could imagine by you. uh, man, leagues are already picking on us. ESPN preseason rankings, Raiders not in the top 10. Well, yeah, I knew we weren't going to be in the top 10. There's a lot of good teams out there, man, and I got to put my bias aside, and there's a lot of great teams that deserve that top 10, to be honest. We're a team that, in my opinion, is top 10 in potential. I hope that makes sense, and I'll get a little bit more into detail about it later on down the line. And shout out to Thomas Hernandez, also in the building, man. Shout out to the 22 people already in here, man. I appreciate you guys, man. And on that note, man, let me bring in my special guest already, man, before I start showing some of my slides I made for today. And, me and him are going to talk about it. And shout out to Half Breed that just joined us. What's good, Half Breed? Uh, hey, somebody that's been on my channel quite a lot, man. And since I started, man, has always brought a lot of knowledge to the channel and helped me in a lot of ways and always looked out for me on live and outside of live, man. And I consider this guy my brother, and hopefully I can meet him soon, man, or some way, somehow, man. It'll be an honor. But my boy here, man, he also has a YouTube channel. If you haven't, go check it out at Raider Twan. You feel me? But I just said his name, and let me bring him in. My boy Raider Twan in the building. What's good, Twan?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Hey, first of all, let me say publicly, happy birthday, dog.
I appreciate that, man. I
Happy
appreciate
birthday,
that.
for real.
It was a good one. They gave me a dub, even though it's preseason. They gave me a dub on my birthday, man. It was a sight to see, man. It was a sight to see.
Hey, same here. You know what I'm saying? My birthday, that week
Mm-hmm.
they came through. So yeah. I'm glad that they were able to do that for you, man. For real.
Hey, it's amazing, man. I've seen a lot of things out there, man. And shout out to, I think I already said, Half Breed in here, man. And Raiders, this is a lot of teams to watch this year. What do you feel about the preseason rankings before we get into everything? You feel me? You think this team is potential top 10?
Uh, I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Raider fan. I gotta say that first, because some people are like, oh, you about to, whatever. Forget it. I'm a Raider fan, but I feel like I need to go to my microwave and pop some popcorn because like we've seen this movie before. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we really want to be the Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? Preseason champs, like that ain't doing anything for us. So that's cool that they want to give us, accolades. They want to put our name out there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really
Yeah.
high on it. Cause again, like I said, we've seen this before.
Yep, yep. And shout out to Half Breed and hey, as you see right here, Terrence already, man. I appreciate you, Terrence. Red Twan's YouTube's right there, man. Just click that link, it'll go straight over to it, man. He does a lot of videos and also lives as well, man. Raider content and everything to do with live too. So go hit up his channel as well. And shout out to everybody. And shout out to everybody that gave me wishes on my birthday on Saturday. I appreciate that. And I seen the Discord a little bit too late, but I appreciate everybody in there, man, and everybody outside of it. It was a good one. I had fun. The next day I was asleep for half the day because that's how bad it was a good tailgate, man, and it was worth it, man. It was worth it. So shout out to everybody, man. And hopefully everybody, like I said, stayed safe throughout Hillary. You feel me? Like I said, didn't hit me hard to be honest. It just made a couple things fly, but that's about it. But besides that, um, how was your weekend though, Twan? Before we continue, man.
Man, I can't complain. I was excited about, what I'm saying, of course, the game, but with us being in the Raider Nation and just having this connection of, YouTube and everything and just knowing a lot of guys, what I'm saying, I was more concerned about y'all, what I'm saying, because it ain't even close to. I mean, out here it's kind of like the sky is a little dark, but it's not like what they're saying is down there. So I was really concerned about, what I'm saying, my brothers down there. First and foremost, what I'm saying, and sending positive vibes and prayers and all that stuff your guys' way. So that's kind of what I was this weekend was kind of my thought, the game, but also like, hey, is my family gonna be straight? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know how the media does it. They like to really scare a lot of people, and at the end of the day, you got to be safe. You got to be precaution, and they made it seem that it was gonna be huge, and I don't want to jinx anything. Like I said, knock on wood, but like I said, it didn't hit hard. It hit hard the mountains, I believe, like the San Bernardino area, Lake Arrowhead, all that, the forest over there. And I know it
Okay.
hit San Diego hard too, but hopefully everybody that whoever's over there in the 619 or anything in Baja California. I also heard, which rest in peace. I heard it took a life in Mexico, I believe. So rest in peace there, man, and hopefully everybody else is safe and well. Yeah, it sucks to hear that, but these things, man, you can't fight them. It's life. You got to be safe. And I heard the East Coast, there's like five brewing. I don't even know. I don't even want to get into all that. But shout out to EJ Raider in the building. Shout out to Jesse Cardenas in the building as well, man. Good to see everybody in here. Earn up in the building. What's good, Westside Media? Good to see you. Hope all as well. Shout out to Half Breed in the building as well. Go Dodger Blue. PS SC Experience. Happy belated birthday, you're Leo the Lion at Noah Diaz. So my birthday was Thursday. Oh, okay. Hey, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to you, man, as well. Um, Eric waiting for Hurricane Selena. What the fuck? Yo. Uh but yeah, I'm excited for USC too. By the way, I think they play, if I'm not mistaken, I think they play this week. Yeah, they do. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? The Raiders play on the same day. I was gonna go live for the USC game, but you know, I don't wanna intertwine with the Raider game. I gotta be focused. Damn, I'm gonna focus on two football games that day. We'll see what happens though. But I want to get straight into this game, man. A wonderful game, which I'm of course sharing my screen. I have a little bit of a slides, and I'll have Twan's insight on my takeaways that I had to there. If he agrees or if he has anything else to add as far as takeaways. Yeah, San Jose this Saturday. We play San Jose State, which no offense to San Jose fans out there. I know a lot of you guys are from over there.
Hey,
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 we're gonna whoop some ass, man.
hey,
Caleb
hey,
is about to
hey,
put up a
hey, don't sleep on San Jose State. You know what I'm saying? Don't play my team like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to San Jose State though. One of my friends there, Giovanni. Hey, shout out to you, man. You're over there, uh, playing for them. I haven't caught up too much recently with you, but I hope you play well over there. But hey, I'm just excited for Caleb Williams, man, to put on a show, man. That's what he does. I'm ready for that. See what Cliff Branch's nephew could do and Jerry Rice's son could do out there, man, on the field. It's gonna be interesting to see how that offense looks. But hey, we're here to talk some Raiders football. You feel me? We'll see when it gets to it on Saturday. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But Raiders versus Rams takeaways. This is what I kind of made yesterday. You feel me? To really dissect the hell out of this game. So of course, my first takeaway from the game. The first string offense displayed great promise during the first drive. I know they didn't go against the Aaron Donalds or anything, but they looked really good. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't even miss a pass. I really liked. I believe it was Jacoby Myers, a great comeback to the low ball that Jimmy Garoppolo threw to catch it. Great separation. And Michael Mayer out there doing his thing as well. And I just liked him. Brandon Bolden, he had one run, but that run led to a touchdown. Perfect blocking. But shout out to Moody and all these guys, Andre James out there, man. They look good as well. So I think it displayed a lot of promise. They looked like they had chemistry out there, man. Even though it was only one drive. What do you feel about this takeaway, Twan? Would you like to add anything as well?
I think the overall thing is that we always talked about how we want to keep Jimmy G in bubble wrap, and they did that. You know what I'm saying? Whether Aaron Donald was on the field or not, you know what I'm saying? That kind of helped us out. Not having Aaron Donald, you know what I'm saying, on the field, but
Yeah.
we can't control that. You know what I'm saying? There's
Fact.
gonna be situations where you know that guy ain't gonna be there because he got nicked up the week before or whatever the situation may be. We got to play who's in front of us, and they kept Jimmy G and bubble wrap. You know what I'm saying? Of course he was perfect. He was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Stat wise, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy G in his throws. But there were some throws that I felt like he could have did a little better on. Just nitpicking, but again, yeah, I think the starting, you know what I'm saying, the penciled in number ones, you know what I'm saying, they all looked pretty well, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't all the number ones, but the ones that were out there, it was nice to
Good. Yeah.
get that first touchdown in.
Mhm. And honestly, I love seeing the first drive, man. Which kind of sucks for me because I ain't gonna lie, I kind of had to wait in line to get inside, so I missed the first drive. But I was watching it on my phone in the line, so I couldn't miss it. I knew. I went on Instagram before walking up to where they take your ticket, and I seen that I forgot whose post I seen it on. It was like Jimmy Garoppolo to make his debut. I was like, oh hell, I gotta turn on this phone right now. I turned on my phone, went on to cable. I was like, I bet. I started watching. I was like, damn, I like what I seen. It's kind of crazy the delay between what you see on TV with when you're there in real life because I heard the crowd roaring and it's still like pre-snap and I'm like, oh my god, what just happened? But it was interesting, man. And like I said, it was a good first drive. I loved it. You can only do like Twan said, what's ahead of you. And shout out to All Eyes on G in the building. We the people also in the building. Shout out to Key in the building. What up, sis? Hope all is well, and I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Let me see if I skipped anybody's comment about anything to do with. I love Aiden O'Connell. I know it's just preseason, but he looks pretty good. We'll get to Aiden O'Connell. That boy, hey, hey, he looks promising, man, and we'll get to that right now in a bit. But that's the first takeaway, the first drive, and all honesty, and Zamir. Yeah, we'll get to Zamir a little bit later as well. Um, of course, the second takeaway for me is Brian Hoyer played poorly, which he showed why he is not quarterback two. So overall, I think we could all say that AOC4, Aiden O'Connell, most likely got the quarterback number two position. I don't know how you guys feel about it within 2 games, but surprised Jimmy was gonna play a snap. I know, right? I'm glad he did. Twan, what you think about Brian Hoyer's performance, man?
Aha. I I I've been saying this ever
Mhm.
since they signed bruh. Like I'm gonna say it like that. Like as soon as they signed bruh, I was like, dude, he ain't got it. And what makes it sad is and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna repeat this, but what makes it sad is that he knows his playbook. He knows where he's supposed to go. And this you know what I'm saying, the plays that they run during preseason are the basics
Mhm.
of this offense. So if he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, if he wasn't out there spinning it like for real, it is his play has taken a drop.
Mhm.
Even beyond what we knew who he was. And yeah, it's gonna be sad when it comes to what I really think is gonna happen with Brian Hoyer. But um, yeah, I very very poor um performance, especially for your first um your first look at, you know what I'm saying, what they say, first impressions,
Yeah.
mean a lot. Well, yeah, on your first impression, dog, you didn't look good.
Hey, and that interception that led to a pick. Oh my god! I was like, "What?" There was a guy open. I will say that he was open. He just didn't make the pass. I think it was Mayer that was open on that play. I'm not sure if it was Mayer. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But it he just needed to make the pass. Like that's all he needed to do, and he would have got somebody wide open. So it was just bad part on his end, and it kind of shows that like Tony kind of said, you kind of knew and expected that from a 37-year-old ahead of time when he was signed. Like I knew that they pretty much brought him for knowledge as far as the veteran experience, like the veterancy of like, hey, rookies, you guys could do it. I remember when I was a rookie, talk, like that type of talk. And I knew that was gonna happen. So at the end of the day, the guy knows knowledge. Maybe his play on the field wasn't that good, but his knowledge did help out, and it shows, right? It shows kind of Aiden O'Connell's confidence. A lot of veterans played in a part of that, and Hoyer's one of them that played a part in that. So you got to give him credit there. But as far as the field goes, hey, AOC, Aiden O'Connell looks like number two for me. And then the third spot. Now no offense. I know Dirty's out there somewhere. I know he's a big Chase Garbers fan. For me personally, I'm not a big fan. I haven't been a big fan of Chase Garbers. He hasn't shown me anything too much, but that's just, my opinion, obviously. Uh for me. So I think that might be a practice squad, maybe. Guy for now until the cuts happen in a couple days, in 8 days. But what you think, Twan? You shaking your head. What do you think about Chase?
No, that whole situation and what I really think is about to pop off, like people's gonna be pissed off, but I've been saying it. If you guys have been hearing me on other channels, but yeah, it's not gonna be pretty, and unfortunately, I partially agree with you in the sense of the Chase Garber situation, but have we really helped him by not
Yeah.
allowing for him to get out there? Like you put him out there in garbage time, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The first preseason game, and then what happened after that? You know what I'm saying? So I I I I I just hope they give him enough snaps, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to allow him to show what he's doing. But again, yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
I think the best case scenario for him is hopefully Josh McDaniels and them give him a chance against the Cowboys this Saturday. I think that would be his best chance. Maybe just because I think Aiden O'Connell played good enough to be quarterback too. So I think at this point, give Garbers at least the first half, or if you want, and I don't know how people feel about this. I'm not saying do it, but it's a potential thing, right? He could have Jimmy Garoppolo play one more drive against the Cowboys, and then after, have Chase Garbers the whole way throughout. I would have Chase Garbers play the whole game at that point after Jimmy Garoppolo's first drive against the Cowboys. In my opinion, just because at this point against the Cowboys, you're gonna see a lot of people that are on the gray area of things of like, oh, are they gonna make the squad or are they not make the squad? Oh, what do we feel about this player, Josh McDaniels? Oh, well, let's see what he does on against the Cowboys, and we're gonna go from there. And I think it's the last chance type of guys. There's some penciled in guys for me so far, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. And I'll have a 53 man live prediction in like I know the deadline's in 8 days. I would say the day before, and then the day of will be live again, a little bound back to back live. But it's gonna be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. I think there and you'll see eventually right now on my next slides that this the secondary, the wide receiver room, the offensive line all have a lot of depth in there. And I mean a lot. So the battle's gonna be pretty crazy. But let me get to a couple chats before we get to takeaway 3. Hoyer and Bolden on McDaniel scholarship programs. They're making the the scholarship program. But this is the last game. Guys fighting for spots at receiver. They want a quarterback that could get them the ball. Not sure if Chase is that guy. Can some people explain to me why Bolden has shown more during the preseason than Zamir White? Zamir White had a good first game. The second game was iffy. Brandon Bolden's first run was good. But I need to see more from Bolden, man. I just
I can't say what I really want to say because we on your show and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying.
Oh no, go ahead, man.
You know what I'm saying? We try to keep things PG over here, you know what I'm saying, for all the boys and girls, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Brandon Bolden, look, he got some good knees. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the best way I could say it at this point. He got some good knees because there's yeah, no reason why he's still on this team. and I agree with all eyes. I feel like there's some scholarship plan. There's an envelope. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Bolden got. You know what I'm saying? There's some emails, some files. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Bolden got us like, hey, look, you know, if you don't keep me on this team, I'm about to release these things. Like that's how I feel about Bolden just specifically. And yeah, I still don't know why he's on this team.
I feel that, and honestly, you know, everybody's getting hyped off of his, first run in preseason. But like, let's be honest, we've seen a lot of him last year, more than he should have had, and he didn't do too good, man, against first stringers. And I don't see a lot of people giving the offensive line credit, man. I think it was Moody that allowed the gap. I'm not sure if I'm 100% right on that. I need to review it again. But the O line gave him a perfect gap, and hey, of course, a running back got to read that and got to maneuver, which I got to give Brandon Bolden credit too. But for me personally, if this was my team, I would not have Brandon Bolden on the 53. I think I'll put him at practice or let him go. Because at the end of the day, you're paying them 2.2 million or something like that. Wouldn't you rather put that 2 point whatever million into somewhere else? I mean, I'm just saying, and we'll get it to Josh Jacobs. There's a little bit of a situation happening that happened today. I don't know if you've seen it, Tuan. Actually, let's get straight into it. We're on the topic of running backs anyways. What do you feel about that whole situation today? Did you see it?
You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad that he said something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whether he, you know what I'm saying, whether he said it and retracted it later on, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we'll say things, you know what I'm saying, because that's initially how we thought. But then sometimes someone might, tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, you're gonna end up messing up your bag by leaving that out there. You know what I'm saying? So whether he retracted it, you know what I'm saying, and I think he did retract his initial thought, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that he's actually saying something because there's a lot of things that I feel like, you know what I'm saying, there and I say this too in theory too. A lot of people forget that the player doesn't control the media. It's the organization. The organization can pump and you know what I'm saying? That's why I say propaganda. They can push whatever ideas or thoughts they want. You know what I'm saying? And it goes out, and then guess who loses that battle? The player, because the organization will say, "Oh, we decided to give him X amount of million, da 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 da," and then now the player, now the fans are like, "Oh, now you ain't trying to take da 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 da," and he's like, "They didn't offer that to me." You know what I'm saying? And sometimes their silence doesn't help them. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that he actually said something and stood up for um, some of the false stuff
Yeah.
that's going against him.
It's an interesting, I guess, one of the biggest storylines coming out of the Raiders have been Josh Jacobs and the whole fiasco that's happening. I think as far as Josh Jacobs goes, I think a lot of us would love him back. I mean, if he feels like he don't got enough respect, man, I hope he sees things in the media and stuff like that. That hey, we do respect you, man, and you've done a lot more than just 1 year, and people don't really notice that. They think, oh, it's only one good year. No, he had ever since he's became a rookie till now, he's had a decent enough of actually a good enough career. I mean, he's about to pass some of the greats as far as Raider running backs goes in just already 3 seasons, in a couple seasons less. So for me, I think the Raiders really got to secure this man. And at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys see my YouTube short today. Colin Coward kind of came out and said it, and I kind of agree with him in a sense, as far as not the 10 to 12 wins thing that he said, but I will say the potential of it because of the boxes that are check marked, right? He talked about, which it's on my channel, y'all. If you guys want to see it yourself, he practically, he practically shown that, if you have a good enough quarterback, if you have a good enough weapons, if you have a good enough running back, a star-studded running back, a star-studded defensive line, and he pretty much said that the Raiders mostly check a lot of those boxes, and those are equivalent to 10 to 12 win teams in the NFL. And that I do agree. The potential is there for 10 to 12 wins because of everything we see as far as talent goes. But the thing is, it's potential after all, right? Potential is not always uh, getting there. And I think people get a little bit mistaken for what I say when it comes to potential. People think that I'm saying, oh, we're going to get 10 to 12 wins. No, I'm saying the Raiders have the potential to win those games. Will they win those games? Only time will tell us, game by game, season by season, games by season game. We'll know then. Like I said, I don't take too much of preseason. I take a lot of, let me see what guys bring depth to the team, what guys have talent, what guys want to be there, what guys want to wear the silver and black, stuff like that. I don't really take of, oh my God, we're a Super Bowl team just based on preseason at the end of the day. You're going against other second, third stringers. You're not going against these first stringers. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, Josh Jacobs. I hope you stay with us, man, and I hope you don't hold out more. And hey, just ignore all the hate, man. There's gonna be always trolls out there, but we will love you back in the silver and black and out there putting up a show. Shout out to Milka Beezy in the building, though. Shout out to Milka Beezy up in the building. Shout out to everybody that in here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, also subscribe to Raider Twan and subscribe to me if you guys haven't yet. Go check out all the links over there that Terrence is dropping as well, man. Great guys behind the scenes and in the scenes. And shout out to Greg Lear that just joined in us. I'm rooting for Zamir White and Brendan Brown to become a second. You know what? Have you seen Brendan Brown play yet? I have not.
Nope.
It's an interesting it's an
It
interesting thing.
if it was, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm,
like there's a few names out
mhm.
there that like they got very minimal touches. So it might have been one of those situations. He might have been in there, but he just didn't get the action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
He said Brown is injured. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't really
okay.
hear too much reports out of it. If he's injured, then hey, that kind of knocks him down the list just because of that. Shout out to DeMarcus Webb. He says that's the problem with social media era. Too much accessibility to information. Fans can say whatever they want and have the luxury of logging off when they get hurt feelings. Hey, that's what social media. Social media to me is like evil. Sometimes it's like and it's like sometimes like you don't even want to go on social media when like certain things happen that negatively affect your mood. Like as far as like
Mhm.
if one of my teams loses, as far as it's soccer or football or anything, right? I don't want to go on social media, bro. Especially and I think Twan could relate with this when it comes to somebody like the Lakers. When the Lakers lose, the whole world's winning. All you see is every single fan base just like, oh yeah, LeBum, oh yeah, screw the late. I'm just sitting there like, damn, we really like the Cowboys of the best of NBA. Unlike the Cowboys, we got actually rings to back it up. We got championships more than them. That's the only
Right?
difference between us and them. So it's kind of crazy. And that's how it is with the Raiders too, right? When the Raiders lose, there's always some haters, some rival fans. Oh yeah, yeah, we knew what the Raiders were. It's like annoying. At that point, I just stay off of it. I'm like, all right, shut the fuck up. But
Right.
undisclosed. It's an undisclosed injury. Like Hurricane Haley with social media, the news making it worse than it actually is, right? Yeah. Hey, everybody's trying to make a storyline, just like some creators out there. Hey, everybody wants to, do their narrative, right? They got a narrative. They're gonna do everything they can to to push that narrative out there, and people actually believe it. That's what's crazy. People actually believe stuff, and then when it doesn't come out true, people just ignore the fact that they lied to your face. Shout out to Circus Raider in the building. We actually win, so no, we ain't the Cowboys. No facts. That's what I'm saying. We're just going through a normal raining pattern. Only social media. Eric like this Tinder. I used to go on Tinder. I don't go on Tinder. In 2020, there was a pandemic. You feel me? And I had to go on Tinder there. You feel me? 'Cause I was pretty bored, but not anymore, man. Shout out to Willie Wayne in the building as well. Takeaway three, man. Let's get straight into takeaway three. The offensive
Certainly.
line dispute appears to be continued, which is beneficial since it demonstrates the depth of the offensive line. What I mean by this is that the offensive line battle is going to come down to the last week, and I think there's only maybe 2, 3 spots secured on the offensive line. I don't know if you agree with that. As far as Colton Miller, Andre James, and maybe Dylan Parham, and then that right side is wide open between Thayer Mumford, between Jermaine Illuminar, between um, Alex Bars and Moody, and I don't know, man. What you feel about the offensive line, man? Talk to me there.
I think we can add a point five to what you said. I feel like Thayer Munford is actually another one
Hmm.
that I'm not saying he's a starter, but I think he has a spot on this roster. And if not, you know what I'm saying, you know me, I'm all about cheap labor, so I feel like he fits that bill. He's a drafted, you know what I'm saying, drafted guy. He's under a rookie contract. He's actually producing, and overall, I think, like you said, it's a tough situation, and it's going to come down to the wire, um, because of how well this offensive line overall has been playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm encouraged that, you know what I'm saying, that we're actually, our offensive line in its second time around is actually playing well as a group. Whether it seems like Skittles, they just plugging everybody in there at this point, but overall the offensive line has played well, and I agree with you. There's gonna be names that we thought were gonna make this roster on the offensive line, and they're not, just because of, it's going to be a number situation. It's not going to be based on their abilities. I really believe that. I think a lot of cuts are going to be because of just numbers, you know what I'm saying, and making sure that we get down to the numbers that we need to get to.
Facts, and we'll talk about more of the offensive line in a little bit too, because I got also some player standouts from the game, and then you could give me your standouts when we come to it. There's actually, I think I have 5 takeaways, so there's 2 more. If we lose against the Cowboys, that'll just make my entire preseason in trash, because I really really want to beat this team. To me, I feel like, I, oh my god, I hate to say this because I know people are gonna be like, "You're not a Raider fan." I don't know about you guys. I just have PTSD from winning every single preseason game. I kind of want to lose against the Cowboys, bro. Just because every time we win every single preseason game, we just have a horrible season, bro. We seen it years back, and we see a decade ago, and we seen it yeah, last year, bro. I just can't deal with that, bro. I hate that, bro, and I hate that I even got that feeling, bro. But I do want to beat the Cowboys. I fucking hate the Cowboys, bro. Fake
I
fan pitch.
Look,
Go ahead. Mhm.
I know I'm gonna lose some subscribers, but I really don't care because I'm gonna speak my mind regardless. I was kind of happy we threw a pick. I'm and it's not that I'm hating on Hoyer, but if you guys follow my channel, I said it on my live. I want us to have a little adversity. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
I want us to be down, you know what I'm saying, and then bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Because all of that creates character. All of that creates, you know what I'm saying, builds your team. You know what I'm saying? When 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 Hoyer threw that interception, everybody on the team, including Hoyer, felt that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they got you know what you want out of your players is you want them to respond after adversity. So
Mhm.
to be able to create that and to have that in the team, like I was actually a few times I was like, man, I hope the Rams score here just to keep keep it close because I didn't want it to be a blowout, saying similar to week one, I'm saying, of the
Fact.
preseason. I want them to learn something and bounce back from some certain situations. So when it comes to week, when the bullets really start flying, they can say, "Oh yeah, I've been through this before." You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, I hope they
But
hope they ran into some kind of adversity. So I agree with you. I yeah, I kind of hope
it's a
something
sticky
happens.
situation because I don't like losing, bro. I
Yeah.
never want to lose, bro. And at the end of the day, I already know what's gonna happen against the Cowboys. We're gonna win, bro. I just know it. This team is playing really good, bro. They
Yeah.
just are. And the Cowboys, for what I've seen so far in the preseason, they you just know that they're not gonna really
Yeah.
do anything against it, even if we put Brian Hoyer out there the whole game.
Yeah. I
Um,
and I predict and I predicted for us to win. You know what I'm saying? But I like I said, I wanted to have those ups and downs of the game. You know what I'm saying, to just help our team, you know, camaraderie come together a little better too.
Yeah, and I know people are seeing Paul Mao out there, man. I kind of put my pat on my back on that one. And I see people kind of downplay the hell out of his interception because it was like to no one and he was wide open and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, some of Meek's takeaways last year were just right there at the right time. So if we ain't go downplay on Meeks Robertson's play, don't downplay my boy Paul Mao either.
Hey,
Hey, go ahead.
you can't control, what I'm saying, who's against you. You know what I'm saying? Your job is just to get the job done. So for him to be able I don't care if I went out there and just underhand tossed it to Palomar. He better catch that ball, and he definitely, what I'm saying. I think he had in his mind, hey, I need to put something on tape because as soon as he caught that ball, he hit the Jets. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Wait,
hey, I do got this speed. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody talked about his speed coming out, but we really didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that he was able to put that on tape. So
back.
I'm glad he got the job done.
Shout out to Demarcus Webb in the building, Auntie Six also in the building, North Cal Raider Jesse in the building as well. Salute to all of you guys, man. Hope all is well. Um, let me see. I was at the game. Raider Nation showed up. I was at the game. Raider Nation said we were hollering from start to finish. Hey, tell me about it, bro. I don't know about you. Whoever was at the game could confirm this, just like Circus said. Like they would say, "Whose house, bro?" All you hear is Raiders. I swear, bro. I seen some people kind of downplay what LA is capable of, man, when it comes to Raiders. And I get it. The Raiders originate from Oakland, of course, and when it comes to LA, that's like the second home, and then to a lot of people, and then the third home is of course Vegas. But in my opinion, bro, for people like me, first home is LA for me because it's like hey, them LA fans, man, we over here, we repping, man, we repping, and there's been a lot of Charger and Rams fans starting to brew up, but they're kind of crawling back into the hole because of their season stuff like that. But it was good to see Rams fans quiet and not saying shit. And it was just good, man. It was just good to be around all these Raider fans, man, and really having a good time. I know there could have been more Raider fans there, but I know a lot of people are shooting for the Charger game, I believe. So at the
Mm.
Charger game and the home opener in Vegas. So that's why I understood why it was kind of like correct me if I'm wrong, whoever was at the game, like a 60% Raiders, 40% Rams. Maybe you could say 70-30, but it was like 60-40 around there. And I knew that we could have easily made it 80-20, but like I said, people are aiming for the Charger game and then
Mm.
the home opener. So it's understandable at the end of the day. And I can't wait for that Charger game because I know a lot of people are gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, best believe, and it's gonna be fun, man. So it's the bacon wrapped hot dogs for me, Pyro. I'm telling you, I got a bacon wrapped hot dog right after. You gotta, bro. You got to if you're in LA after a sporting event like that, bro. I went straight over there. I said, $10 for a hot dog. I went all the way. I started bargaining. I was like, hey, can I get it lower? And yeah, they lowered the hell out of it. Thank God. But hey, them bacon wrapped hot dogs, man, they hit, bro. I'm telling you, they be hitting, bro. You gotta get one after. Yo, it's a must. That or King Taco, bro. I'm telling, or go get some tacos, bro. I swear it's either one or the other, bro. But shout out to Pyro in the building, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Yup, Raider Nation outnumbered the Lance fans, yeah. And shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Straight to dude, those hot dog carts were out of nowhere. It drove after the game. Those facts. Takeaway 4. Plenty of tiny details are missed. So I put plenty of tiny details are missed since the game in the preseason. But one thing for certain, the Raiders' challenging opportunities have been well communicated, especially from the staff all the way to McDaniels. And what I mean by this is the aggressiveness. To I ain't gonna lie, from where I looked at, I was so far away. But when I looked from above, it looked like his feet was out of bounds. But when you see the replay, you're like, "Oh, his feet was inbounds," and Josh McDaniels knew that. And hey, good job by the staff and everybody over there. He challenged that right away, and a lot of people are like, "Oh shit," because nobody really knew that if it was inbounds or not. But Josh McDaniels did, and I like that aggressiveness, man. The communications throughout. That's kind of like a little thing, right? Because it's preseason, and people are like, kind of downplay it or overview it. For me, I think it was a good takeaway. I think it was a good thing to see his aggressiveness in order to get what he wants. And even though it was a preseason game, people would say, "Oh, just leave it, whatever if we don't score." He's like, "Hey, I want to score regardless." So how do
Mm.
you feel about that, man? How do you feel about that challenge and everything to do with it?
You know what I feel like, and this is my hope, because I said this about McDaniels last year, just my observation on McDaniels and his coaching last year. I'm actually very um pleased with how he's been managing um the sideline. You know what I'm saying? And how he's been a head coach. Um You know what I'm saying? Like I think last year he had an issue with trying to be the offensive coordinator and the head coach and the juggling of that. And I feel like up to this point, um, he's kind of managed that well, whether he changed systems or whatever the situation may be. Um, so I'm glad that he's doing that. And I hope that uh this goes into the regular season. So
Mhm.
I'm I'm okay with what he's got going. Um, but again, we don't know because also in the preseason, head coaches they will test certain things. You know what I'm saying? It that play may not necessarily be what was needed to be done to win the game, but they'll put those players or whatever group out there in a certain situation because they want to get a certain look um, from a certain guy. So
Mhm.
um, it's kind of one of those things you don't know completely, but I'm happy with what I've been seeing so far out of the head coach of McDaniels at this point.
Yeah, and you kind of see more of a, I would say, chemistry throughout the staff to the players
Mm.
more than last year in the preseason. Correct me if I'm wrong. You see more; they're more together, and I like that. At the end of the day, those are little things, right? Because people kind of, like I said, the preseason, it's like, oh, whatever. To some people, it's kind of like I like to see that the little things matter, and they make a big difference. And I see the chemistry there, and I love to see it, man. The offense cheering on the defense, defense cheering on offense. The McDaniels all over the field talking to everybody. The staff going back and forth, communicating within each other. So that's good to see. Like I said, hopefully they translate all of this into the regular season because that's the most important thing. But so far, so good. You feel me?
Yeah,
A-
it's easy. It's easy to have that chemistry when you know what's expected, and I think
mhm.
a lot of the chemistry and stuff that we're seeing, even in preseason and with the coaching staff and all the players, I think is because everybody knows. You know what I'm saying, a general idea of what's expected of them. So that's a good thing for us.
That's a fact. And speaking of both sides of the football, right? The offensive side and defensive side have been played with an unprecedented level of energy. Both the offensive side and defensive unit appear to have a lot of depth in different positions. And what I mean by this is you see the energy across the field. Even with certain positions, like I said, the depth in different positions, and I kind of named the positions earlier, right? The offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary, the wide receiver group. These all have depth, and they all know they're playing for a spot, and they're out there every single game, every single practice out there bringing the energy, energy that I, you kind of shocks you in a sense because it's like you wouldn't expect this high of a level of energy right off bat, and they've been doing it since game one, even before even the training camp. So I love to see it, man, and it shows how much these guys truly want to wear the shield and want to rep the silver and black and really play for this team, man. And I hope, like I said, I hope they could translate that into um, the regular season because this energy would do wonders. Would do wonders, man. What do you think about both sides of the ball and their energy?
I think that goes into what I was saying earlier. Is I think because they know what's expected of them. A lot of these guys are in their second year. You know what I'm saying? They're they were rookies last year in this system, and now they're not rookies in this system. So a lot of it is they know what's expected, and also I think the energy is also coming because they know that, you know what I'm saying, and here I go pushing the agenda. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why Keisha Cole is stepping his game up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give props to him for that. But I think a lot of it is because of the depth. You know what I'm saying? He knows that if he don't go out there and try to ball out, that he gonna be on the next thing smoking. You know what I'm saying? Because we have depth. You know what I'm saying? So I think the depth is also a factor of why we're seeing this energy because these people want jobs. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to do whatever they can to 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 keep a check.
Mhm. And kind of like you said, the push of the depth, right? It kind of pushes people to play better. And you've seen it time and time again in multiple years that when a certain player is challenged by another player that comes in, you kind of play better, man. And if it, a lot of us have played sports, and you guys know, like when your position is in jeopardy, you're gonna play your heart out. You're gonna do everything you can to keep that position or fight for that position. And you see it across the field here. This offensive line battle is something to look at. This wide receiver group is honestly, and I said this even before the preseason started. I said the wide receiver group is better than last year's wide receiver group, and that's just because you bring in people like Jacoby Myers that brings in another Hunter Renfro type with great hands and great separation and speed from the slot that fits in this system that's played in it. And then you have people like Cam Sims that kind of surprised me in a sense, and Trey Tucker that needs a little bit of work with his hands, but besides that, you see that he gets quick separation. Man, that guy gets separated quick and open quick. So if he could fix them hands by the end of this preseason, oh my god, that guy would be wonderful in in the system. And then you have like the little things, right? Like the little the running backs trying to fight for a spot, and you see other people on the defensive side of the ball look really good, like Curtis Bolton looking good out there out
Mm-hmm.
of nowhere. And then you see people like Luke Masterson stepping up, knowing that hey, We don't got that much depth in the linebacker position, but I'm gonna be the one to step up. I'm gonna show you why I deserve that spot, and that's what Luke Masters is doing. And then, of course, Isaiah Palomar out there doing his thing. He knows there's a lot of depth in that safety position. The rookie is out here on all cylinders, like kind of like Trey Tucker, like, all five, looking good. Aiden O'Connell, Chris Smith, believe it or not, like some of the plays that he's been out there, he's been pretty good. And I love to see this, of course, and hopefully, like I said, they put it into the regular season. But now the standouts, man, and we're gonna go a little bit. Not, I didn't put every single position in because I didn't put the running back position, I believe, because I don't know about you. I wasn't really fond of anybody yesterday. I mean, on Saturday. So I didn't really put them. But first, with the quarterback standout, all three quarterbacks played. And I just put Aiden O'Connell again, man. Um, Aiden O'Connell, man, let me read you some of his work on Saturday, man. 11 for 18, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, no sacks on him, a QB rating of above 110. And the guy, I mean, some may say that it should have been a higher completion because of the drops that some of the receivers did. And he played a pretty good game again. And correct me if I'm wrong. Um, they were it was a pretty close game entering the half, and then they kind of you know they
Yeah.
they kind of separated themselves after that. So Aiden O'Connell looked really good, man. Once he came out there on the field to save Brian Hoyer's ass, you seen it, and he came out there balling again, confidence, and that's what you like to see from a rookie, right? That confidence. And what you feel about Aiden O'Connell's performance, man?
I mean, he put on another great, you know what I'm saying, great and good performance. You know what I'm saying. I was looking for, you know what I'm saying, out of Aiden O'Connell some form of consistency, and I've been saying, is he going to go 15 and 18 again? Maybe. Is he going to go, you know what I'm saying? Is he going to do better? Is he going to do worse? We don't know. But is he going to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to see the consistency of his play. How smooth he's going through progressions, or how he's, you know what I'm saying, throwing the ball, how he's managing this offense. And I think he did that well. And I also still on the same boat of, let's not rush him. You know what I'm saying? Let's not push him all the way out there. You know what I'm saying? Because we do got a starting quarterback. So allow for him to grow and even get better, sitting behind, whoever they decide to put in front of him. But it's encouraging to see our young quarterback, whether he's our backup of the future or our starter of the future, manage this offense.
Hmm. And for a guy that got picked in the fourth round, he's looking really, really confident there. Um, his name is Aiden O'Connor. That means initials is AOC or even AOC. That's what I'm saying. Uh, yeah, I don't call him AO4. I call him AOC4. But besides that, like I said, Aiden O'Connell, looking with confidence, and that's what you want to see in a rookie. You feel me? But moving on to standouts, the offensive line, and then we get to the offensive line, right? For me, I put there Mumford. I think he had a decent enough game. Alex Bars out there looked well, and then Natane Moody was a surprise one for me, man. When watching him, yeah, he had a significance in that touchdown for Brandon Bowen. And besides that, he's been doing his thing out there. And as far as uh, as far as Thayer Mufford goes, he's allowed zero pressures or sacks allowed in over 25 plus pass blocking attempts. And as far as the Saturday goes, Moody only allowed one pressure and a hit, and then followed by Alex Bars was also another one that has not allowed a single sack or pressure when playing that position so far in the preseason. What you feel about the offensive line? Is there anybody else that stood out to you, or somebody that that's not there?
I think, and just going off of the guys that you have here, I think Alex Bars is the one that really has been feeling a lot of the pressure. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why goes to what we were saying earlier. Is I think he's been stepping up because of that. Yeah, I it was interesting to see. Um, they moved the Luminor over, um, and he didn't do too bad.
Hmm.
I gotta say that. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of those ones with him was like, hey, you you like to have your name called all the time. You know what I'm saying? And he, I guess someone got in his ear. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because he also was playing a little. I ain't saying he played a stellar game, but
Hmm.
if his name wasn't called for a flag, I call that a stellar game for him because yeah, we saw what he was doing for us last year.
Hmm. And like I said, the battle in the offensive line is going to look really good. Coming down to the wire. Like I said, I think there's still two or three positions up for grabs coming into the last week of preseason, and it's going to be
Mhm.
an interesting battle to see them because you're going to see a lot of them there. It's weird to
Oh,
see a 54 on O line though. Facts. Oh, go ahead.
I'm glad we're on this because I
Mhm.
also want to give props to I call him Jonas, but Horonis DeGrassi or whatever his last name is,
Yeah,
Grasu.
we have Gasu.
Yeah, he played well at center, for
Hmm.
us because again we didn't have Andre James, you know what I'm saying, at center for us, and I think he actually is our backup
Hmm.
center. So shout out for him because I think he actually took all the snaps um, under center for us that game.
And I think he's another one that has not allowed a sack or pressure, also on the offensive line in the preseason games. So he's another one that you're right looked really good. And we go on to the wide receivers, and I have a controversial one, which is Trey Tucker on the third, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Philip Dorsett was one of the guys that stood out to me in the wide receiver room on Saturday. Um, the guy had 4 receptions, targeted 5 times, 76 yards, 19 on average, and you've seen his speed. I know a lot of people were starting to call him Henry Ruggs because of the number and the way he was utilizing his speed. But it's like, to me, Philip Dorsett is his own player, man. And uh, hey, he's making a name for himself. As far as we always knew who he was, we always knew his veteran presence. But for the Raiders, he's making a name for himself as far as the 53-man roster. And I think he's somebody that makes the 53-man roster. I think he will sit behind Devontae Adams, um, in my opinion. As far as there's another one that really, 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 really surprised me is Christian Wilkerson. This guy kind of came out of nowhere. Christian Wilkerson, another guy that had a decent amount of game on Saturday. Um, he did get targeted a lot, and some of the passes were not catchable. Other ones were. So he's another guy that's kind of like Trey Tucker, where he's got to work a little bit on his hands, but he still impressed me. Got a touchdown, 5 receptions for 54 yards, 23 being his longest. He had 12 targets, so you see that, like I said, targeted the most. A guy that has been getting separation. I will say that, and he's been surprising me. So Wilkerson could be a name on the practice squad, maybe. Yeah, I would think so. I think he's a guy that secured his spot at least as part of the silver and black in some way. Um, I don't think 53 yet. I'm gonna say yet for Wilkerson. But if he produces and cleans it up against the Cowboys, then I would probably keep talking about the 53. And then Trey Tucker, like I said, is a guy that a lot of people are mixed with. Um, when I reviewed him and I seen what he could bring to the table, you see a lot of potential with him, especially being a rookie. The guy's quick. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the guy gets separation, and number three, all he really needs to do is catch better. If he does that, like I said earlier, he gonna look really good over here in the silver and black. And he's a guy that, of course, he also got a kick return. But I believe, in my opinion, DeAndre Carter. is the better option there, in my opinion. DeAndre Carter, I think, is better for me personally there. But Trey Tucker, obviously, I think is going to sit behind either Hunter Renfro or Jacoby Myers on the 53. What do you feel about the wide receiver group, Twan?
I I think Philip Dorsett is feeling the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think he's really feeling the heat. When I say feeling the heat, I mean there's so much depth there that he might be one of the guys that falls off this roster.
Yeah.
Especially for his, for who he is, his measurables and everything else. There's some guys that I feel that are ahead of him, and one of the guys is actually on this on this visual that's on on your screen, and I think that's Trey Tucker. I think realistically, if Trey Tucker, he needs to be on that jugs machine. You know what I'm saying? Before practice and after practice, um, because there's been a lot of drops that he shouldn't be dropping, especially on this level of game. You know what I'm saying? College, they kind of let some things slide like that, but in the NFL, some of those drops, they should have been just routine. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Pickups. The separation, of course, is there. Kind of reminds me of like a early Seth Roberts, in the sense of, what I'm
Mm,
saying, the separation would be there, but the hands weren't always there. And if he can get that, um, he'll be a really dangerous wide
yeah.
receiver for us. Wilkerson, I think he came from the Patriots, and that something you kind of have to keep an eye on. I think he played well, but also, with that being said, there was players um there were players that you could see were clearly getting volume, you know what I'm saying, of snaps. And he was one of those guys. So there's something that they're trying to see at a Wilkerson. And then another guy, you know what I'm saying, is Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole got a whole lot of volume, um, you know what I'm saying, the past game. So
Mhm.
there's something they trying to see out of those guys, and to be honest with you, it might come down to, you know, either Keisha Cole or Wilkerson, and we'll see how that plays out.
Facts. And shout out to Snoop Hernandez and everybody saying, yeah, Tucker just needs to fix some hands. You can't teach speed. I will tell you that. And he's got that. And route running, in a sense, you could teach it just to learn the routes, but he's got it. I think he's got it. It's just that catching, like I said. Cole's making the team. Yeah, I know Twan might not like that, but it looks like he might. He might sneak
Kick,
his way into the 53, man.
kick Terrence out. Hey, mods, come on, come on, come on, come on, get Terrence out of here.
And moving on, I kind of named it the front seven instead of just defensive line and just linebacking core. I put front seven. Malcolm Kuntz again displayed good energy and good ways. He had 3 pressures, 1 hit, 2 hurries. Played really good. Then you have Jerry Tillery doing this thing, which I think Jerry Tillery might be the starting defensive tackle for us. I think um, I think he got himself at least a starting role in certain cases.
Mhm.
And then Drake Thomas, this boy from NC State, undrafted rookie, a guy, one of my favorite undrafted guys. He had 3 run stops. He had one of the biggest PFF grades on Saturday and looked really damn good, if you tell me. So Drake Thomas, another guy that's making a name for himself. Shout out to Chuck the Jedi. Good to see you as well. So for me, these 3 guys are the ones that stood out for me from the front seven. What you think, man?
You know, I'm glad that Malcolm Kuntz seems like he's out of the doghouse. I think he still has a tough billing, but I also feel like, based off of what I kind of gathered from what McDaniels was saying about Kuntz, is I think he already kind of has him penciled in. you know what I'm saying, to make this roster. So I think he might be, you know what I'm saying, one of the last, um, defensive ends, you know what I'm saying, on the roster, um, for us. And that's a good situation to have Kuntz step his game up. And you could tell that he's improved, you know what I'm saying, his game from there. Tillery, I think yes, he's the veteran, but we also have to be mindful and careful because Tillery is not really the best at stopping the run. And that might be an issue for us down the road. But if Patrick Graham typically, kind of has like a rotation and kind of plugs them for specific need bases and stuff like that. So, um, that would be up for Patrick Graham to put him in the right,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the right position. And Drake Thomas was a guy that I really wasn't looking for to crack the 53, but definitely he's making a name for himself to the point to where he might actually, you know, slide in there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I liked what I saw from him, you know what I'm saying, against the Rams. And he definitely is putting his name out there in a good way.
That boy Rob Leonard's gonna have a way with a lot of these guys, man. He's gonna make them look good, man. Everybody knows how I feel about Rob Leonard, somebody that doesn't get talked about too much, and I've been the main advocate for him. So hopefully he proves me right as far as coaching wise, and really put these guys out there, causing a lot of pressure. And I believe that our sacks are gonna go way higher than last year. I think we will be top 15 in sacks, and I
Mhm.
think we would create a lot of a pressure, man. But like I said, I think I don't know if Twan got his like some people penciled in already. I think Kuntz and Tyree Wilson are behind Chandler and Max Crosby. I think those two guys would be behind them, and then after then, you could put maybe somebody else there. I'm not sure yet on those positions, but as far as backup to those two guys, I think Malcolm Kuntz and Tyree Wilson both for me are penciled in as far as there. As far as the defensive tackle room, you got Nesta J. Severa out there balling. You got Neil Farrell Jr. balling. You got a lot of these defensive tackles out there making a name for themselves. So it's gonna be an interesting battle there. And Drake Thomas, like you said, is a guy that I haven't had penciled in officially yet, but I do have him on the radar. If he has another good game in preseason, I think I might have to pencil him in as a backup. But moving along here, of course, the secondary. I put secondary. These are the three guys, and yes, Eric put Amik Robertson. Yes, Eric. Well, Eric over here put Amik Robertson. And for me, Amik, he had a decent enough game. He did get beat a couple times, but besides that, he kind of made it up with. Like I said, he kind of had a Duke Shelley moment, and had a pick in his hands and dropped it. He read that play right. He read that play right. And it's just he couldn't catch it. Just like Duke Shelley the other week. It's the same thing. Same thing with the Barbarian. Same thing. You seen it, and they gotta catch it, man. These guys, this could make a break a drive, make a break a momentum push, and you gotta catch it. So, uh, I put Amik as a good standout. He should have cut that interception. He had it in his hands. He read it right. But besides that, he did get beat a couple times, like I said. But I will still put him as a standout. Like I said, he's most likely gonna make the 53. I think he would be behind Nate Hobbs at slot. Uh, and then Isaiah Polamau, man. I ain't gonna lie. When he was pointing in the end zone, I thought he was pointing at me, bro. He's like, Eric, I heard you. Here you go. I ain't gonna lie, but shout out to Palomao, man, representing SC, man, and he looked good out there, both on the field and besides that pick six, he looked good out there. Another guy, like I said it last week, and I think I got in a little bit debate. I forgot with who over Palomao. They weren't impressed. I was impressed. You feel me? So I feel like Palomao is somebody that I said that was gonna start in his second year, because I didn't think in his first year he would even get that much burn, but they ended up giving him a lot of burn. Essie was the only one to believe in me. I know, right? Uh, with Mao, he's somebody that's good in the box, and I said it. But when he got the interception, he was in the backfield, which was impressive, and he did put I think a couple pounds. They made him put a couple pounds, and he still has that speed. So another guy that brings that young energy passion to it. Uh, no, I was not Terrence. And then Curtis Bolton. Obviously, Curtis Bolton was been one of the loudest in the rooms and showing it with his actions. So Curtis Bolton is another guy that I think might make the 53 just with the way he's playing with his energy out there and stuff. What you feel about the secondary, man? Anybody that I'm missing or anybody that stood out that I put?
Mm. You talking about for the Rams game or just overall?
Uh, we're gonna go first Rams game. Who do you think from the secondary stood out? Then we're gonna say overall.
I think for the Rams game, I think this is pretty much who I would identify as guys that either attempted to get a hand on the ball or has been active in a Meek. We know what a Meek can do. You know what I'm saying? We seen him, get his hands on deflections and stuff like that. And of course we want to say he should have had that. Um and we know that he can. It's not like it's one of those things like, oh, it's a miracle that he, caught it or he didn't catch it. We know that a Meek always keeps his hat around the activity. Um, Palomal definitely he took advantage of the opportunity and didn't look back. I'm glad that even with his with him gaining weight, and getting bigger in that aspect, he didn't lose his speed. Because again, that's a you can't teach speed. And especially on the defensive side, for him to be able to gain, to add some gains and then still be able to keep his speed, and put it on display to say, hey, I can still do this, was great. Bolton, for me, definitely helps me feel a little bit better about this linebacking group. If he decide, actually, if they decide to keep him, in the rotation of linebackers. I feel like if something would happen and Curtis Bolton, the way that he's been playing in preseason, if they trot him out there, I'm not going to have a heart attack. I think he'll actually get the job done. You know, the best he can. So I'm pleased with these guys. And of course, always expecting for them to do better. But yeah, Curtis Bolton for me kind of helps me feel a little bit better about this linebacking core.
Yeah, as far as I think Robert Spillane's another one that had a decent game. I believe he was out there for a couple plays. I think as far as Shelly, I see people talking about Shelly. Shelly, you didn't see too much of Shelly. I think
Mhm.
he got targeted like 6, 7 times. I believe I seen it somewhere where it was like he allowed a 68.1 QBR rating, which is really good for a corner to make somebody go below 70. So that's really good for Shelly. Another guy that is pushing for that starting role, and I've been a fan of Shelly ever since we signed him. And I said it live and live again, and I that outside cornerback position outside of Marcus Peters is a competition, man. A Meek, a Shelley, Jacorian Bennett. It's a fight. It's a fight between them three, man. And for me, I'm rooting on Shelley just because he's more of a veteran compared to Jacorian Bennett as a rookie on the outside. But at the same time, Jacorian Bennett is out there balling, and Amik is still with his energy out there. So we will see what happens there. I know Nate Hobbs, he was out there. Oh, yeah, Nate Hobbs was out there, by the way, y'all. If y'all didn't see, I just knew
Yeah.
that because the announcer was like Nate Hobbs with the I was like, all right, Nate Hobbs is out there. Okay, okay, good to see him out there, man. Good to see him get some burn too. Um, but it's I think Twan said it constantly and constantly every time he's live or on somebody else's live. He always says this, and I always agree with him when it comes to it. Is that it's a good thing to have this much depth. Like it's a good thing that we didn't have this before. We weren't talking about, oh my god, it's a three-headed monster race. It was always like, oh, we already know who's gonna be outside just because we didn't have anybody after that. Now, hey, it's a talk. It's a talk that needs to be had. and it's a good thing to have. Like I said, I like Shelly too. People been hating on Duke. He's a lock to make the roster, in my opinion. Yeah, he's a lock for 53. Competition breeds success. That's a fact. Spillane looked good against the run. He did, and that's one of his strongest suits. That I said when we signed him. His strongest suit is the run. It's literally the run defense.
Yeah,
But
I want to throw another corner in the hat. You know what I'm saying? Because we were talking about who I thought stuck out in the
yeah.
secondary, and I want to throw Sam Webb. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
In there because you know what I'm saying not only is he getting his hands and I don't pause, I press play. You know what I'm
facts,
saying, just because you know what I'm saying he's been getting a lot of hands on balls, you know what I'm saying, in practice, and not just in practice but in the game. And when you have a corner that's doing that, you know what I'm saying, you kind of have to keep your eye on him. And I think Sam Webb is
facts,
because of that competition is definitely making a name for himself. So stay tuned. I don't know where he'll land. You know what I'm saying? I would like for him to stick around with us, but we have so much depth that that
it's hard. Yeah.
might be a tough cut. But I would like to have him around just because of it seems like he's getting his hands on the ball.
And I'm glad you brought up Sam Webb because Sam Webb was one of those guys that last year, to be specific, I kind of had him over a Meek throughout the season. I kind of was more of a fan of him than a Meek. But then
Mm,
as the season progressed, you kind of seen a Meek starting to evolve and really look good. So it's kind of like made me eat my words. And I said at the end of the season that I owe him an apology. He made me eat my words. But for
mhm.
me, I've always been a fan of Sam Webb ever since we got him. A guy that showed so much potential coming out of pit and stuff like that. And I think like you said, that competition is crazy because you gotta shove the other guys in there. Tyler Hall, you gotta shove in there, and then you got oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god, there's one more. Uh, not Jaquan Johnson. Is it Jaquan Johnson? I don't remember the other ones, but there's
David
other ones
Long,
in the mix. Yeah, and then I know Hearn. Yeah, that guy is gone. I mean, number 40. Yeah, he gone. He's cut.
Deuces.
So that one we got to do. David Long Jr. That too. Okay,
Yeah,
boom. Thank you. Yes, that makes it. I think David Long Jr. and David Long Jr. has that veteran above these guys, but still, it's competition, man. And we might. If there's a part where this, because there's always surprise cuts. If there's gonna be a surprise cut anywhere, it's gonna be that cornerback room, man. And it's gonna be a surprise that none of us are gonna even imagine who it could be, man. They're gonna cut somebody. I already have that feeling where it's gonna be like, oh snap. But shout out to egalitarian in the building as well, man. And for the last one, uh, before we do our final thoughts, man, I have other standouts. Which, hey, by the way, I want to give a congratulations and an applause. If you guys don't know the story of David Agoha, the boy from Nigeria,
mhm.
of course, was one of 8 people from Africa to be selected into the NFL to play this season and come into the preseason on teams. And he got picked up by the Raiders, and he had in his first appearance, pretty much, he had a sack, and he played actually. Just besides that sack, he actually played pretty damn well for his play out there. And I give him a lot of credit. A guy that has a story behind him, a true story, and it makes me. It puts a smile on my face to see guys like this really go out there and achieve their dreams. And he's got a potential of, I believe he's got 2 options as far as the team goes. They could either put him on the practice squad or bring him into the 53-man roster. So either or, I think he has to be on it. I'm not sure. I have to go double check that. But even then, he played well, and I wouldn't be mad if he becomes in the practice squad. I mean, this guy has energy, man, and you see that he truly wants to be out there, man. And
I
Twan, you got anything to say about Goha, man?
No, I think you hit it right on the nail. I'm just happy that what I'm saying his name was called in I'm saying I sound like a broken record, but it's something that I'm preaching. Is I feel like what I'm saying I'm glad that his name was called in a good way. Um, especially with all the hurdles and stuff that he went through. Just to imagine all that he's gone through, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to get to this point, and for him to be highlighted, you know what I'm saying, on many levels. You know what I'm saying, even McDaniels went out of his way to highlight, you know what I'm saying, what this man has gone through. And I gotta read it up too, because I think there's some stipulations in regards to him, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the roster. I think if I don't know where it is, where we put him on the roster, but I
Yeah.
don't even think it hurts us to even, you know what I'm saying, like him being on the roster, it doesn't even count as a number. It's just, having him, with us, it helps. So, I again, I hope he achieves all his dreams, and you know what I'm
Facts.
saying, goes as far as he can go. So yeah, I'm happy that his name was called in a proper way.
And you've seen how much the team respects him, man. Right when he got that sack, everybody went to go congratulate him. And when I mean
Mm,
everybody did. And I love to see stuff like that, man. And like I said, I kind of got a little bit of what the Athletic had to say about it. He's a 6'5", 245-pound pass rusher. He is one of 6 Nigerian players and one of 8 players in all to be selected for the program this season. The players will stay with their teams until the end of training camp, and then can either be added to the active roster or added as an extra practice squad member and stay with the team all season. So I think the stipulation is there's a limit to the practice squad, but from one of 8 players or all 8 players, whatever team they're on, of course, for us is a Goha, we could add them and it wouldn't count towards that limit. So
got
he'll
it.
just stay with the team throughout, and he will be a part of the practice squad regardless. So that's amazing to see that they're even doing that for him. And I mean, for his first appearance, man, the guy looked good. I mean,
Yeah,
his play showed it. So he got a little bit of my fandom, man, and hey, congratulations, like Twan said, man. I hope he could continue down that path, man, and really show it. I seen part of his story. I think he got inspired by The Longest Yard, I believe, the movie The Longest Yard. That's what inspired
okay.
him. He played soccer, basketball, and a couple other sports before he got into football. Then, of course, like I said, he got inspired by The Longest Yard and stuff like that, and wanted to be a part of it. And then the NFL built a program over there in Africa that just started, I think, last year or 2 years ago, that gives guys like these a chance to make their dreams come true. And hey, 8 people got selected, and we got one of them. And hey, shout out to Gohan, man, and hopefully he gets another start on against the Cowboys. And now going on, I talked about him earlier, DeAndre Carter, a guy that I think should be the punt returner, kick returner, in my opinion. He should have been gone. I can't believe he stepped out of bounds. Oh my God, everybody was yelling. He looked really good out there, but DeAndre Carter is my kick returner, punt returner over Hunter Renfro and stuff like that. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, another standout, perfect. Um, Drive down the field easily. What do you think, man? Do you have any other standouts besides these guys?
DeAndre Carter, I look that guy. I think on that one he actually got pushed a little bit, but I got to go back and look at it more in depth. I'm glad that our kicking, you know what I'm saying, return is going to be in good hands. You know what I'm saying, with DeAndre Carter and Tucker. I love the speed that's coming off of those guys. Um, to be honest with you, I really feel like, and maybe it's me, like I feel like it was a lot, like there was a lot of people that played well, and of course this is preseason, but there wasn't really nobody that really like stuck out, like, you know what I'm saying. And usually every year we have someone that is a Keelan Doss, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, at George Atkinson, you know what I'm saying, a guy that really steps out, like, the whole preseason. So I'm still kind of looking for that. um but yeah, I can't put a finger on it. I think everybody played well. I think the only person that didn't play well was Hoyer.
Mhm.
And just
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
just 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 being honest. Like I just feel like
Facts.
everybody played well, you know what I'm saying? But Hoyer was on a whole nother level.
That's a fact. And I see, I think Ern had the question, are y'all okay with the running back by committee? I'm not. Some people said that they trust JJ more than the running back we have. What do you think about the running back by committee? Would you choose running back by committee or Josh Jacobs? And I'll go after you.
I would go with Josh Jacobs because Josh Jacobs is a cheat code. I say that in this way. In regards to our running backs that we do have on the roster,
Hmm.
they're only going to take what the offensive line opens up and what the defense allows. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna get the extra, you know what I'm saying, shake and spin off and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You might get that out of Abdullah, but if you're looking for Zeus to do that, just watch his tape and you'll see that he hits the gap. Thank God he's hitting the gap because last year we were mad that he wasn't hitting the right gap.
Fact.
So now he's hitting the gap, but he's only taking, you know what I'm saying, what the offensive line is opening up, which the offensive line is doing well. They're opening up holes, but he's not gonna, you know what I'm saying, get the extras at this point. So that's why I say Josh Jacobs is the cheat codes because we know that Josh Jacobs is gonna hit the hole, but he's also gonna give us those extras, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the run. So yeah, my choice would be Josh Jacobs, but just if that doesn't happen, just stay tuned and just hope our offensive line continues to open up enough gap to where we're still respectable in a traditional running format.
And facts. I think I agree with you. I would prefer Josh Jacobs, man. I think the running back by committee didn't wow me yet. And I think Josh Jacobs brings a lot of dynamic to the game, and I think, like you said, he's a cheat code. He's a guy that, um, if your wide receiver group ain't doing too much, the running back group will with Josh Jacobs on the field, man. And you need these guys to balance out. A good run game leads to a good passing game, and you're seeing it. So, and especially with these receivers that we got this year, we got a better passing game. I think you need Josh Jacobs out there, man, and I think he will. I don't know the whole fiasco today. I have to read into it. I seen so many mixed reports. I seen that he said on somewhere downplayed it, was like, "Oh, I didn't say that," and another one I seen that he said that I don't know. It's a whole bunch of, I don't know what the hell going on. But Josh Jacobs, man, we need him back, man. And Josh Jacobs, you may not come across this, but hopefully, you stay with us, man. And yeah, that's pretty much the takeaways for the preseason game and the recap of it and the standouts. And it's gonna be an interesting battle in certain spots on Saturday. Like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was supposed to do the USC game, but now the USC game intertwines with the Raider game, and now I gotta have two TVs up. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do that day. But regardless, I'm gonna watch both games at the same time, whether it's on live or not. I know Ben goes live anyway, so at that point, I don't really want to go live, to be honest. I'll be live probably the day after on Sunday or Monday, but I will be live again Thursday. I'm gonna talk to Twan behind the scenes if he trying to do something Thursday or something. I'm gonna be live Thursday to preview Saturday's game, what to expect, what players that we want to look at, what battles are gonna be interesting, and all those things as well. And then I'll be live again either Sunday or Monday or Saturday if something comes up, right? But
Yeah.
shout out to 3 Dave and a couple people in here, man. I appreciate you guys. And Twan, any final thoughts and where they could find you, brother, before we head on out here?
Yeah, I like I said, I think we obviously the score indicates that we won the game. I think we took, based off of last week, um the first week, I think we took a dip a little bit in our defense. I think our D line for some reason couldn't stop the run as well as they did the week before. And hopefully that's not a trend of what we're going to see, because we definitely needed. I think that's where defense actually starts, is actually stop the run first, and then you know what I'm saying. Then with all these secondary guys we got that are getting active and stuff like that. That's when we can really get make some noise defensively. So hopefully they shore that up and get the right people in place so that we stop that run, and it all starts and ends with those D tackles. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I got for my observation of the Rams game. But hey, simple as this, man. Raider Twan on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe. I just dropped a video recently about my opinion, and I want to know your opinion. Does the deep ball matter? You know what I'm saying? And check out my video on that. I got some. I don't just tell you opinion. I give you guys some facts. I give you guys some article reviews and all that stuff too. So definitely check out Raider Twan on YouTube. Quit playing with yourself. Go ahead and subscribe.
Facts, and I appreciate Twan for joining me, man. Like always, it was always a good conversation back and forth, man. That's why I love to bring Twan on here, man. Brings great knowledge to the game. And then there's Twan's YouTube right there. You see Terrence dropping it. And shout out to 3 Dave. He says first time watcher. I'll sub you up. Hit that like button. Also click that Raider Twan there too, man. Go same thing over there, man. Great content. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support. And I appreciate everybody. If you're a first time watcher coming across this after the live is done. Hey, join us, man. Hey, subscribe to the SC Experience. We're on the road to 2,000. The goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of this season. So hopefully we can hit that. The grind is real, and I appreciate you guys, like I said. And hey, I appreciate you, the 3 Dave. Hopefully I can see you every time I pop on live, man. I appreciate the support. And shout out to Charles Washington joining us at the end. Shout out to Charles. Salute, man. Salute. And yeah, for me, like I said, I'll be back live Thursday. Talk about the game Saturday and either be live Sunday or Monday for the post game. And then from there, it's that week after, besides the post game on Monday, most likely. After that, I'm probably gonna go live Wednesday because then we gonna talk about no wait, actually 27th, 28th. Oh, I'll go live Tuesday. You know what? I'll go live Tuesday because Tuesday is the deadline, I believe, for the 53-man roster cut. So we will be live. I will go live same time, 2 p.m. till the deadline hits. Which the wait, when does the deadline hit? It might be 4 p.m. Eastern, so I might go live a little bit earlier then, if that's the case. So it's gonna be an interesting day then. And then from there, it's full force till week 1, man. And it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited, man. The Broncos week 1. Oh boy, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So shout out to everybody, man. I keep coming with them lives. I'll hit the notifications. Also, hey, sometimes the notifications don't work on YouTube, so go hit up my IG, go hit up my Discord. All the links are there for updates as well. On that note, yeah. So Raider Twan again, Raider Twan. I appreciate you for joining me, man. Like always, it was a good time. And
Yeah,
hope
man.
all is well with everybody out there, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough time their lives, but tough people doing good. Also tough people, man. Yeah, deadline for 50 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I'll probably go live at 12:30 or something. On that note, yeah, best to see you guys and your families. Like I said, man, have a great afternoon and night for everybody, man. It was Raider Twan and the SC Experience, aka your boy Eric, man, and we are out. Peace.